Hello and welcome, everyone. I was just posting on my Facebook page because Mercury is retrograde. Yeah, we got Mercury retrograde in Aquarius, and it's at 7:51 a.m. Until February 21st, where it'll start to go forward. But then, of course, it goes over its shadow. So we got reverse, revisit, redo. He wants to help you to the higher levels of understanding. Definitely that. There's going to be a lot of revisiting and redoing over this Mercury retrograde and causing a little bit of havoc within us, around us, I mean, first of all, Mercury retrograde. When Mercury's retrograde in Aquarius, it governs relationships. Friendships are put at risk. Petty squabbles, misunderstandings, and miscommunications abound. Now you got to think that it's in Aquarius, so it's a lot to do with communications, with community. So the communities going around. So if you take, for instance, so let's just go outside into the collective consciousness on what's happening with GameStop and the whole energy around that. And it'll be interesting to watch how much they want to revisit this and review this and how this is going to cause some really crazy squabbles, because this is a collective group, which is very Aquarius, has gone out and figured out, man, you know what? We can do exactly what the big billionaires are doing, which is Uranus, disruption. Let us disrupt. That's what Uranus does in Taurus. Taurus rules bullion and the bull. So this energy comes in with the bullion, and it is about a disruption. And here we still have energies in Capricorn. I mean, the billionaires and everything are all about the patriarchal system, about keeping the status quo, about keeping things done in a certain way. Hence, we got energies that are coming in saying, no, we're not. Mars is down there. Mars, the thing is that Mars is still rebellious. He's still in that energy zone. So there's a lot of this. I'm not going to take it anymore. Another brick in the wall. Pink Floyd comes in, that was my grad theme song. Was Pink Floyd, another brick in the wall. Oh my God. But I mean, that's exactly it, right? We're not going to take it anymore. And that's what people are feeling. They're not wanting to take any of the bullshit anymore. They're not going to be taking any of the crap. I mean, you see all of a sudden here in Canada, you're looking, you're like, well, now you're closing the borders to Mexico and the Caribbean. I know one person that's gone there down 3 times in the last 3 or 4 months and even opened a business. Like, what the fuck? I mean, now let's close it? That was okay? That was allowed? Hey, I just have to say, my Mars is opposite my Mars, and my sun, or my Mars is opposite my natal sun right now. So, what crazy anxieties, emotions that are going on through the energies, and it's an exact opposition right now. So, for me, emotions are high. Anything that's going to be happening in Taurus, any fixed signs, you're going to be feeling the emotions a lot more than other people. So a lot of this energy that let's go back to that border. I think the only reason why they closed our borders, because some MPs got caught going south of the border. So they thought, ooh, we can't have that. Let's close it down for everybody. Oh my, oh my, oh my. This energy is really going to reveal a lot. And with Mercury going retrograde, a lot is going to come and resurface. A lot of things are going to come up. And we're going to have to revisit. We're going to have to really look at it, especially when it comes to the collective, because that's what Aquarius rules. It rules the collective. And when we look at the collective, when we look at that energy of a collective, what is it that, Mercury's trying to give us information about? And even within what is there, where in your life is there, within your family unit, that's a collective, is things not going well? Are things not in a balance for you there? I mean, in whatever balance you there is in family. I don't believe in balance, but purpose and passion within your family, and then within your work community, and it spreads out. So this is really, Mercury is going to be retrograding in air signs this year, which is really interesting because it does cause havoc. It causes havoc with information. Are you receiving the proper information? And how is that making you feel, right? And that's a big piece that's going to be coming up, because air signs are very air, intellectual. It's the sword. So the sword energy from the tarot is coming through. How is it cutting through? What is it doing? How are you receiving the information? Are you the Knight of Swords going forward? Are you the Knight of Swords reversed, unable to go forward and bring your information? So this is a lot, for each individual person that we are going to be going through. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of disruptions and miscommunications, and things just not coming forward the way that you want it to come forward. That's going to be a big thing when it comes to the energies that over the next 3 weeks, I'm going to say all the way into March. So we're going to be going through a lot of craziness, crazy chaos, but we're getting, this glimpses of, well, we got to do this because, maybe there's some fine polishing that we still have to do. There's some things that we still have to do that we haven't tied together, that need to get tied together. And this causes, when you're trying to do something, maybe there's a lot more arguments. So you got to really watch how you're coming across, how how things are being said is going to be a big one, because people are going to misinterpret what you say and take it the wrong way. And there's going to be a lot of feelings and a lot of things that are hurt, and that has to go down to your belief systems and how, what triggered you. What was that trigger within inside of you that had you come out and lash? And that's something that each of us has to start looking at, so that when we come into the collective, we can come into a space that brings in the harmony and the peace and the light and the beauty of working together. I think it's really cool that I love it when I can see astrology played out. And that GameStop was exactly astrology played out. A community coming together for a common goal. Doesn't matter who the hell you are, what your beliefs are. We got a common goal. And let's see if this works. And now you have the big ones, the Capricornian elitists coming in saying, oh, let's get regulations on this. Oh, let's get Congress involved. And half of those people in fucking Congress get paid by these hedge funds or do insider trading. Don't have evidence, just saying. Or they get donations by some of these big ones. So it's interesting when you start pushing back and things start coming back. This is what we're going to see a lot more of. We're going to see a lot more people coming together as a collective. There are a group of restaurant owners coming together and saying, hey, you know what? We need to get our business going. What can we do? This is what you're going to find. If they shut us down again, wherever you are in the world, I just heard that BC is being shut down till summertime or springtime. Like, what the fuck? This is a province that is really ruled by tourism. So shutting them down, that's killing the market. So here we are as Joe Blows, normal people, what I call normal. We're not the elitists with $1 billion, unless you're watching me and you do have $1 billion. Hey, thanks for joining. Trying to get by, pay their rent, pay their mortgage. And here are people coming together and say, hey, you know what? Why don't we make some money so that we can help one another? And if we can help one another, maybe we can create something more. I was watching also with the tornado that hit Alabama. So blessings and praises going out to Alabama, and of getting help down there. Getting help down there. There's people who are now like, they're totally homeless. They're living in their cars. There's no sanitation. There's nothing. And then, of course, they get a bout of rain and some really bad weather afterwards. And they're finding it hard to get down there and get in there to get help. It's not exactly the elite area of the United States, so that's probably why they're not going in as fast. Maybe not, right? Twisted Sister comes to mind. I know, Twisted Sister. This is where, all of those movies. Now here it is. So what am I? Generation X? No, I'm considered a baby boomer because I was born in 1963. So I was born in 1964. I'd be this Generation X, even though I experienced the same fucking thing they did. Where a lot of the movies like Demolition Man and all of those crazy movies that we watched, you're sitting back and you're like, wow, this is just almost exactly the same of the utopia that they want to create for people, and creating this sort of utopia. And as long as you don't say anything, being the worker, the guy who's flipping the burgers, or the cashier at the store, as long as you don't say anything, this utopia is going to work. But the thing is, not everybody's going to be quiet, and that's where we get Mercury retrograde in Aquarius. And Aquariuses are the sign that says, I know. They're the I know sign. They know everything. You tell them something like, I know that. Because they're the ones, with this connection, and they feel like they know everything, right? So it's quite interesting with this energy coming in, and with Saturn being in there, wanting to bring in this energy of not so much conformity, because this is kind of like he has a lot more movement than before. But we're going to find that when it comes to information about science is going to be interesting, because Aquarius rules science, and they also rule the astrology. So we're going to find a lot of information coming out about this science, and this is okay. Then again, we got Mercury retrograde. Is this information going to be true? I mean, coming out in shadow, there was Johnson & Johnson came out with a new vaccine or something. You only need one dose. And so are these facts truthful, or is there something that still needs to be said? Again, astrology in action. Watching this unfold is kind of crazy, because you're seeing there's going to be information coming out that, is this truth? We're kind of questioning a lot more. And, when they're coming out and telling you that you have to wear 3 masks and get a butt swab, I mean, now you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Again, there's just so much coming out, and it's coming out in our faces, and we're seeing it played out. We're seeing this being played out before us. And this is so where we're as individuals with this energy and coming off this full moon, which is a real fucked up, radical full moon. I mean, it's like you come out of this and you're just like, wah! And then you're like totally hungover. It's like you went on some kind of binge for the last 3 days. And then you're coming out and you're coming into this energy of, okay, practicality. So the moon caused, Candace Pipes, I loved this moon. This moon caused a lot of radical energy of change, and bringing that radical energy of change. Now we're in this energy of Virgo, a practicality of trying to make structure of what it is that you are wanting to create. Yet Mercury, because the moon is in Virgo, it's mercurial, it's like, okay, are you getting the information that you thought you received from the moon fully and clearly? And was that clearly the information you were supposed to receive? Because Mercury was in shadow. So in this energy, it's like really, you're not going to really feel it or really get the full picture until possibly the new moon in Aquarius, possibly the new moon in Aquarius, but probably not until you get into the full moon in Aquarius, and we're going to have 2 of them this year. There's no full moon in Cancer this year. So information and 2 full moons in Aquarius, that's a lot to do about the collective and energies with the collective and bringing in that energy. So we're going to see more coming up of people gathering, coming together, and wanting to get things done. All about connection to self. That's beautiful. And it's true. You know, it is. I mean, Leo is very self-centered and it is that energy of look at me, right? Because that's Leo. I'm the one on stage. So having that connection to self, right? We don't need Cancer moon this year. All emotion. Well, we had 2 last year. And the 2 last year was connecting us to the emotion, was connecting us to the heart of the matter. And here we have the Leo one. Let's get into the heart of the matter. So this does, you know, with the energies coming forward and the intensity and at the degrees that they are at, will cause for a lot of people, you know, of course, with Mercury retrograde, miscommunications, disruptions, feelings of a lot of emotional feelings will come up with all of this, because it's that intellectual energy that you have to bring down and start feeling into the heart and dealing with the feelings of the heart. So with that could cause, you know, a lot of shadow work, a lot more shadow work, depression, overwhelmness, argumentative energies, because you don't want to deal with what you have to deal with. So you might be argumentative about it and putting up the walls or putting up your own masks so that you don't have to work with it. So this weekend, this is just for the weekend coming in. This is what we're going to be dealing with. And then with Mercury retrograde for the rest of the month of February. So it's this, we're in this kind of, we're in some choppy waters. I call it choppy waters with the sun out. That's how I look at it. It's choppy waters with the sun out. And it's bringing in change for us, and change for us as a collective, where we have to come together as a collective in order to make things change. This is a huge year for when it comes to financials. So we're in a big financial year, and we're going to be seeing a lot more unemployment. We're going to be seeing a lot more about the market. Definitely, that's going to cause a lot of crazy changes, is the market. So we're going to see some radical changes with the market. And we're going to find that more groups, probably like Reddit, are going to get together, that are going to band together and say, you know what, let's come together as a collective to make, you know, so that we can make our lives better and help one another. So we're going to see a lot more of, you know, that energy coming together, which is really cool. Where, you know, even when you have co-ops coming together with people for food or buying power, you have more buying power when you come together as a collective than you do as an individual. So we're going to see a lot more co-op energy coming in, because that's very collective, that's very Aquarius, and with Saturn, that brings in the organization and wanting to bring the organization in. So you may find a lot more people saying, hey, you know what, springtime's coming, let's get together and you know, let's talk to this farmer, or let's talk to that person, or let's go over here. So we're going to find a lot more like people getting together on that level. And with the use of the internet, is able for people to get together even faster and quicker and organized, which is going to be very cool to see unfold, right? And so this energy with Mercury retrograde is us, looking at where is it that we want to gather? Where is it that we need to reestablish and revisit and bring in those beautiful energies, along that line. I wonder if anything is going to happen with NDP Kenny. NDP Kenny has been making some really stupid choices. Oh yeah, he has. There's been some really crazy developments that have been happening in the last 48 hours of things that are going unnoticed, like things that are happening. And if people don't think that camps aren't happening here in Alberta, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear that or they don't want to see that, but Kenny's allowing it. Kenny's allowing for this shit to happen because he's becoming like that lovely little dictator down in California, the governor, right? So I can make these choices, I can do these things without people seeing, right? And now he's trying to plead with Trudeau about the Keystone because Biden didn't sign it, or Biden signed it. Trump never signed that about the Keystone. They talked about it, but he never signed it. So he didn't sign for things to go down there. So Biden signed it and stuff. So we're going to see again, there's things that are going to come together with that about the collective, right? So we're going to see people gathering together and saying, well, fuck this. Well, let's make these choices. Why are we sending so much stuff offshore when we have the technology here to do it? Yeah, he wants a good economy, but he wants the good economy for him. He doesn't want the good economy for the collective. He wants to line his pocket like he did with selling off some of the government land. He lined his pocket. He didn't line my pocket. He didn't line your pocket. He didn't make sure that you're able to create a more harmonious world. Things that he should do is like come down on landlords and say, okay, during this time, raising rents is illegal. So making a rental freeze. So wherever the rent, making a rental freeze and making sure that rents don't go into astronomical ways, right? That would be good. Making sure that people aren't hiking up prices, like, because Biden didn't sign the fucking thing, our gas goes up. That's stupid. It's the same fucking gas that we had in there before, but it's like more expensive now? No. This is Mars opposite my sun right now, guys. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's what you're going to see, right? And this is what he's doing. Selling Crown land is illegal. It's an illegal act, right? But then again, because of the lockdowns and because so much is going on, I was listening to Melissa Mackey's live the other day. She's a good friend. Wonderful girl, wonderful single mom, just vibrant, beautiful energy. But her pastor's wife, who went down to the States legally with papers and everything to do business, got the COVID test, did all the COVID thing, and Air Canada will not let you on the airline without having a COVID passport of saying that you got that you are clean and clear and whatever. Picked her up at the airport and they haven't heard from her in 24 hours. They don't know. They took her off in a white van. Police and the AHS. So this is where, when it comes into things that are getting crazy happening. And they would not give her husband any information, would not give the names anywhere or wherever she's going. And so a lot of people are calling Kenny's office to find out about it, right? They're forming a complaint. So a lot of people from there, how is that okay? Exactly. How is that okay? It's, that's fucking stupid. But those are the things that we're going to see, is that It's actually, people don't understand, in Canada, it's actually legal for a policeman to come into your house without a warrant. They don't need a warrant to come into your house. They just need to have suspicion of something happening in your house, and they can come into your house. That is legal in Canada. They can't do it in the United States. It's a totally different country. They're, you know, this is part of the right. So even if an RCMP, even though we're under the jurisdiction of the Calgary Police, RCMP can step over them and say, we're going in there, we're going in there, we're going in there. They have every right. In Airdrie for months, it hadn't moved at all, and even though it was moving in Calgary, then they raised it more, and we're like, huh? Yeah. That's stupid. That's stupid. Here, I got to blow out this candle. It's going crazy. There we go. I got a candle just like, as soon as we started talking about this, my candle over here started just like igniting like crazy, so I thought I better blow it out. So that's the thing. And the policeman did not have to give his name to the pastor because he wanted to know. And this was at the Calgary airport 48 hours ago. So things like this can happen if they feel or they suspect. This is why I say to people, I said, you got to watch what you do. Got to watch what you do. And when like for me, I'm flying low underneath the radar. I'm probably spiking something out there in some fucking algorithm. But, this is where we have to look at it. But when you band together as a collective, which is very Aquarius, this is where you're going to find the energies come through. And people start, things start to change, but they don't want you to band together. It's easier to keep you apart than it is together. But the way that people are banding together is that, what, I'm sitting on my couch doing fuck all. I can't go anywhere. I can't do anything. So let me go on this. Oh, what is Reddit doing? Oh, what's this group? Oh, can I find out more information about that? Hey, I got a $300 stimulus check. Fuck it. I'm gonna invest in this and see what happens. Boom. That's exactly what happened. Saying, what do I have to lose? And that's what you're going to come to. People are going to start, and you're going to find this coming up in this year, going all the way up into like 2023, 2025. People are going to be radically wanting to make changes. And some of these changes are going to be absolutely phenomenally fabulous. When it comes to grow ups, and when it comes to people wanting to create new ways of making money without it being a communist state. That's the thing. So it's a fine line that we're walking when it comes to all of this. That's the whole thing. But right now, where are you going to go? Saskatchewan? Manitoba? Ontario? Right now, if you go to even into New Brunswick and stuff, you're only allowed a 10-mile radius or some kind of shit like that. And BC's locked down. So this is where where we are at, as if you look at the chakras of the world and where we're at with the Rocky Mountains, we're actually in the heart center. So as a worker, we have a lot of protection when it comes to the mountains. So if we use energetically, this is a really good spot. Pulling on the energies of the mountain and of the earth and working with that. That's cool. And we can do that. So that's where a lot of spiritual work comes in. Light your fires in your backyard, do your bonfires, sending out your petitions up into the sky, right? Coming in, getting the drum beats going, doing your candles, doing your work. It's a lot. I know for some people, like Candace and Amanda were saying with the full moon, yeah, I felt the full moon was great, but I know there was a lot of energies that were coming up for me. I totally forgot to do the full moon readings for people. You're going to get them on Tuesday, by Tuesday, and it was just, there's a lot of intensity and energies that for me, because, and I'm going to say, for me, it's because everything is opposing. I have, how many things do I, where's my chart? I was just looking at it this morning, my chart. So when I look at my chart, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 energies all in my Scorpio house. That includes Sun, Mercury, Neptune. I have Sirius, Lilith. I have the part of Fortune. I have Juno. I have Vesta. I laugh because I got all of those energies. Those are all in my house. So I want to go this way. I'm turn it this way. There we go. All in my house. Let me show you my chart, because I was looking at it this morning. And this is, you know, when you wonder why people are feeling crazy sometimes, and you look at their chart. I like to look it up to see what's so this is my chart here. The green around here is what's transiting. This is right now, this is where my sun is. This is where Mercury is. This is where so this is where Neptune is, and this is a part of Fortune. There's Lilith. There's Vesta. So I have all of those energies in my house, and then we go what's opposite my house right now. We have Mars, Lilith, and Uranus. So that energy comes down and it opposes. So we have an opposition. And with that going over, and in my 11th house, which is my 11th house of collective, which comes down to my this is actually, the 5th house is ruled by Leo, right? So this is my 5th house ruled by Leo with Scorpio in it. And so wanting to shine, wanting to come out, wanting to be seen, yet being can be very disruptive. Can be very disruptive with things going on, right? My chart looks like a child did spiragraphs. Yeah, so it's interesting. So when you start looking at and seeing what houses are being affected, this is the houses, you know, what you are working with. This is what you need to start looking at. And when it hits, also the 5th house has to do with shadow work. So bringing in some more shadow work. Sounds like my whole fucking life dealing with shadow work. It's never ending. I came in this life to work on a lot of freaking karma. That's for sure. And sometimes it gets tiring and you just don't want to do it anymore. You know, you don't want to do it anymore. The fun, that's all it is. But that's one of the reasons for me doing and wanting to do more of my teachings and work with, work with the angels and being able to help others to deal with a lot of the crap. So my candle went everywhere, so I have to get this wax off my tablecloth. But for today, people, what you need to start looking at for yourself, because I got to get going. I have a house clearing to do today, so I got to get going just now. What we have, and I'll pull this share up. I'll show you what's transiting for today. And you guys can go on this. This is called Planet Watcher. You can get it for free. And take a look at what's going on. So down here, what do we have? We have the moon. The moon has gone into Virgo. It's at 4 degrees. It is doing this is a yod. So we got a yod here. So a yod is when we have a sextile. So Saturn is sextiling over to Chiron. So we have a sextile here, and then they're making a quincunx over to the moon. So we have this energy of of Saturn and of Chiron quincunxing and pointing to the moon. Then the moon opposite Virgo is Pisces, right? So we have this energy of the releasement goes through Pisces, right? So the finger of God comes in on the moon, which is all to do with your internal core. How, with Saturn, how are you getting things organized? Chiron, are you healing yourself? Are you allowing yourself to feel your passion and your beauty that is within you and allowing yourself to release it out through that of Pisces today? Now that can bring in, a lot of intense emotions that are there, right? And the intensity of the emotions that are going on in here. And also, of course, we do have the squares still going on with Mars here and squaring off over to, he's basically off of the squares, but it's still, there's a little bit of pressure there, but it's not as bad, for the squares. But it's the buildup of Uranus squaring Saturn, which will be coming up in a couple of weeks here. So the buildup of that square. But right now, what I keep wanting to focus is that we have this finger of God. So here's God pointing at the moon in Virgo, saying, okay, what are you doing? How are you feeling about all of this? Right? Because the moon is all about our feelings, our emotional well-being, so this is where you're going to be feeling a lot of that this morning and going into the afternoon. So if there's things that are arising or you're feeling very anxious and overwhelmed, definitely take a look at it. Also take a look at where's that happening in your house? Like look at, maybe something will come up surprisingly for you that you have to work on, or it lets you know what may be happening over the next weekend and something that you want to put together. And this might be really good energy for you to get organized and get things together, right? And organize something as a group. So if you're doing maybe a vision board, this would be a beautiful weekend to do a vision board, actually, to do a spiritual vision board, right? Bringing in a lot of that healing and passion and fire, which is Chiron, and Chiron being in Aquarius or being in Aries really brings in uniqueness and unusual information. So this would be a really good time to get together with friends. Do it on, if you can't get together, do it, get together on Zoom or something and, do a vision board with a bunch of friends this weekend. Fabulous. That would be a great thing to really focus your energies on what you want to create for yourself and the seeds that you want to plant down. So there, I'm going to leave it on that note for you all. And I want to send you guys out with so much blessings. Thank you for coming in and joining me. And those who are wanting the moon reading, yes, they're going to be coming. They're just late. So just bear with me. Also, I have the 21-day meditation for $25 starts on Monday. So if you're wanting to join me, it starts on Monday. And I did send out an email for those who have registered already. So you should have gotten the email. All right. So an email was sent out. So if you're wanting to join me on Monday, let me know. It starts at 6 a.m. It is recorded, so you don't have to join. I can always send you out the replay. So have a fabulous day, and may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be and all that you do. Blessed be everybody, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.